Hello, MCU fans! Today is going to be my breakdown of all the big reveals from the brand new Thunderbolts Asterix teaser trailer. Lots of cool Easter eggs and even some interesting timeline indicators. So much to discuss, so let's dive right in and see what we can find out. Don't forget, we have a September contest running all month long. Be a subscriber, leave a comment. You could win a book or a steelbook. Best of luck. And we have a membership option with lots of cool perks, so you might check it out in case you're interested. All right, so we start with Yelena coming to visit the Red Guardian. And notice the car on the left. I do think we're going to see that car later in the trailer. So Alexei thinks that she's with DoorDash, saying, I click leave on porch. And then he gets mad at her, saying, I'm going to report you to your superiors if you don't leave. So she says, no, Alexei, it's me. Open up. And he suddenly realizes, oh my goodness, Yelena's here. My apartment's a mess. And I'm in my underwear. So he grabs a bunch of stuff, throws it in the kitchen, throws on a robe, washes his mouth out with dish soap, nasty, and then finally opens the door and says, Yelena. And she says, hi, Dad. You can tell she's really down. But I'm so excited to see Florence Pugh back again. She is so incredible. Cannot wait to see her in this movie. But yeah, she's really down. But so he, realizing his apartment is a mess, just throws stuff to the side, explains, sorry about the wait. I was on an important call. Lets her sit down here. Says, oh, it was highly classified, of course. A lot of work, many irons in fire. So he's obviously lying. But then she says, well, do you feel fulfilled? And he kind of blows the question off, says, oh, yeah, so full, so filled. But then he realizes she's actually pretty down. So he asks, why do you ask this? What brings you here? And I love their father-daughter relationship, quote-unquote, a relationship still continuing. It's just really neat. So before she answers, though, we see the Marvel logo, Marvel Studios. Remember, now we have studios, television, animation, Marvel Spotlight, and even special presentations. So many cool divisions. But yeah, the logo then rises up as though it's on an elevator door, and we see Yelena standing there as she explains, there's something wrong with me, an emptiness. So actually, she's going to describe how several of the Thunderbolts seem to be searching for meaning. In fact, the next one we see is Bucky, who also seems to be, just drifting, as Yelena says. Now notice on his coat jacket there, I think that is a congressional pin. And I say that because, oops, I think in this interview by Phase Zero at the San Diego Comic-Con, they might have said a bit too much. So Comic Book wrote a story on the interview, and they say that when asked about Bucky using his dishwasher, which we'll see in just a second, to clean his vibranium arm, Stan joked that it's efficient. One has to at some point make sure that things do get clean, and so that's a very efficient way of doing it fast, Stan joked. He uses a lot less water too, a lot less water in the dishwasher. And then Russell chimes in and shares, he's a congressman. Oops. I don't think he was supposed to say that. I think Feige's laser guns just went on his head there. But anyway, it does seem from the trailer that he's wearing a congressional pin. So, all right, maybe not too much of a spoiler by Russell there. But we do see Bucky cleaning that arm out, indeed, in the dishwasher. And I want to know where he got that arm from, right? Because remember, Rocket got it for Christmas from Nebula. So did Star-Lord bring it back to Bucky? I hope so. That would be cool. Or did Bucky maybe get another one from Wakanda? I do hope we get that answer. But speaking of Wyatt Russell and his part in all of this, notice he is sitting there looking at his phone while his baby is crying. Good old John Walker, ignoring his kid and reading sad stories about himself. And actually, this is our first really big timeline clue. So part of what he's reading says, the story of what went wrong starts long before his unveiling just a few short years ago. And they're referring to him being unveiled as Captain America. Remember in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he was the new Captain America, and then everything went wrong. But notice, a few short years ago. I mean, by definition, few is 3 to 4 years because, a couple is 2. So we're talking at least 3 years since Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was in 2024, so we're looking at 2027. All right, keep that in mind. We're going to come back to the timeline in a minute. But yeah, then Yelena continues on saying, I don't have purpose. And I think John Walker kind of feels like, yeah, I don't have purpose either. So then we see her saying, I thought throwing myself into my work was the answer. And now she's kicking some butt here, taking these guards down, flips that dude, totally flips these 2 dudes. And then just in case she didn't completely take them out in the process, shoots this guy and shoots that guy. Yikes. All right, so then I think this is the same scene, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously, when the movie comes out. But she shows up in this secret base. Her outfit at least looks the same. And so she's walking through here, and it's very mysterious looking. There's these something being covered with plastic. I'm wondering if there may be IVs because experimentation was done, which we're going to see in a second here. A little bit more evidence of that. So she walks over and sees this case, which it seems like might be something she was coming to pick up. And boy, does this thing have a ton of Easter eggs on it. Okay, so first, right there, looks like a bunch of different wigs, like they're trying out different hairstyles on someone. Okay, who is that someone? Well, another clue they give us is all these S patterns for, probably the first letter of their name and different ways to make their logo. Interesting. We also see this here, which is kind of hard to read. It's pretty blurry, but it says, please do not release. So whatever this is top secret. And then if we zoom in there, it says the Watchtower. Okay, so finally we get something really definitive because in the comics at least, the Watchtower is the base of Sentry. So we'll talk more about Sentry in just a minute, but that would explain maybe the hairstyles and also the letter S, right? So, okay. Then suddenly, U.S. agent comes out of nowhere and starts firing at Yelena. So Yelena grabs that case, which again, I think is what she was coming to pick up, and it protects her from his bullets, but he's just firing away at her. She charges at him and pulls out a knife, which this knife gets some, travels around between everybody. We're going to see in just a minute here. But so then he's about to take her down, I think, but then notice over on the right, yes, that is Taskmaster. Bashes him across the room. He goes flying across the room, and then there she is looking really cool. So this is what, of course, she looked like in the Black Widow movie, and they've changed her outfit, or she's changed her outfit. I don't know. I think I like it better. I did like the one from Black Widow, but I do like this one. Let me know your thoughts. Which of these do you like better? But yeah, Yelena's like going, what is going on? What is going on? So anyway, U.S. agent is now ready to take on Taskmaster when suddenly behind him, you can see phasing in is Ghost. So yeah, Ghost, I'm so happy to see again because I really enjoyed her in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She did not get enough to do. She also gets another costume upgrade. I'm kind of torn on this one. I could go either way. I like them both. I'm sure that the new one will grow on me, but let me know your thoughts. Which of these do you like better? But okay, so now U.S. agent is like, fine, I'm going to take on you then. So he charges at her, and she's obviously still able to phase because she phases away and then comes back again after he misses with his swing. That's pretty cool. Then Yelena now takes cover and chucks a knife, that knife we saw earlier, across the room. Ghost phases out and then phases back in and catches it. That's pretty awesome. Ghost chucks it at Taskmaster. It reflects off Taskmaster's shield and lands in U.S. Agent's hand, who then uses it to go back and attack Yelena. And Yelena's probably like, wait, that was my knife. How am I now being attacked with it? So pretty crazy. This is the type of action I am looking forward to. We're going to see some real throwdowns. But anyway, then, while all this craziness is going on, out crawls someone from one of the containers. What on earth? And everybody stops and goes like, wait a minute. This day can't get any crazier, right? So the dude stands up and he's like, no. And they're like, who are you? And he explains, I'm Bob. Okay, so this is really the last hint we need to know that this is absolutely 100% Sentry, because we saw the other clues, but also in the comics, Bob Reynolds is Sentry. So I have no idea how much they're going to adapt from the comics because his story is pretty crazy. But at a minimum, he got super soldier serum, but a very, very powerful one. So powerful that he's more powerful than Superman. A million exploding suns, the power of a million exploding suns, they say. Also, he ended up with multiple personalities. So there's the personality you're seeing here, this very timid, meek, probably doesn't even realize he has superpowers. And then it's called the Void, but the Void takes him over and he becomes, well, really bad. So I don't know whether they're going to do all that. There's even more than I'm saying. But let me know your thoughts. How much do you think they're going to adapt? My guess is he will have multiple personalities and he will be super strong, but that's about it. So it seems that everyone was, quote unquote, sent. Because Yelena says, who sent you, Bob? Meaning that obviously she was sent. And he's like, nobody. And they're like, nobody? Huh? And he's like, wait, you were all sent? So my guess is that Val sent them all here to maybe either kill each other or kill Bob, or for Bob to kill them. I'm not sure, but I do not think they had no idea the others were going to be there, right? They were all surprised. So I think this was a setup. Let me know your thoughts on that. because as soon as Bob says all that, notice on the right the doors slam shut. That's not good, right? And then this one slams shut, and this one slams shut. And then here's where I think Yelena is trying to piece this together, because we hear her saying, everyone here has done bad things. So then she's talking about U.S. agent. He did some shadow ops. She talks about herself robbing government labs. And so basically, she noticed in her hand there, she's got some type of vial, and she uses it to clock this scientist there and take him out. Then she says this could get messy. And then I believe it does get messy, because notice what she's wearing. Then I think this scene from elsewhere in the trailer is that she blew it up. She blew that laboratory up. Because notice she's got the vial in her hand there, I think. And of course, she's wearing that same outfit. And then she says, also, some of us have done contract kills. So here we see Ghost doing a contract kill. And then, I love it, U.S. agent's like, yes, so? I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. So Yelena's like, so someone wants us gone. So I think all of these different missions that they went on, all the ones she's explaining, were things that helped gather the materials necessary for Val to create Sentry. So like that vial from the laboratory, for instance. And they don't realize it. None of them realize that they've actually created the person who now may take them all out. Crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that. But that's my guess on that. But clearly, they're all meant to die because the room suddenly turns red. And then we see this counter starting at just 1 minute going down. So everybody's got a panicked look on their faces, obviously. And then I think this is like heat. Like they're going to blast this room like a furnace and just incinerate all of them. So yeah, I really do think this was Val setting them up and had planned on killing them all. So yeah, they're not real happy about any of this. And Yelena is probably saying what all of us are saying. What the heck is going on? All right, so meanwhile, the person I think was responsible for this is off at a party. So here we see several interesting Easter eggs at this party. So first of all, that certainly looks like Loki's scepter right there. And so why on earth would they have a replica or maybe the actual Loki's scepter? Well, notice this sign back there. If we zoom in, it says honoring the heroes, the Battle of New York. So I think that this is basically a party honoring, maybe a fundraiser, honoring the work of the Avengers. But what's so key about that? Well, the Battle of New York, of course, was May of 2012. If we're now talking 27, that is 15 years after that big battle of 2012. So this might be May of 2027, and they're celebrating the victory, right? So, okay, I think we can actually put this in the timeline. So let's take a brief talk about the timeline. So in my Agatha video, I gave everything up to Agatha all along. I won't repeat this. You can check out that video if you want to know why I laid out this timeline here. But let's talk Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts. So I think Captain America Brave New World is going to be February 2027 because it's right after the inauguration, which is in January. So I think it'll be around February of 2027. And I think Thunderbolts will be May of 2027. 15-year anniversary of the Battle of New York and 3 years after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, I really think this is shaping up well. And maybe, just maybe, if they slow down the timeline, we will catch up by Secret Wars and have the MCU timeline and the IRL timeline be the same. Wouldn't that be nice if the same year in both? Oh, please, please, Marvel, please. All right, so back to Val. She is living large. I think the person on the left there is her assistant, because we do see her again later in the trailer here looking at something, maybe brain scans. I really don't know what that is. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that. But then we also see Bucky keeping an eye on her. And notice he's got that pin on his shirt again. So, all right, Val then gives her philosophy that she kind of overlays during lots of different scenes where she says, we are all brought up with this belief. And then we start to see the team, the Thunderbolts, doing several different battles. Here's Yelena breaking through a wall. This is kind of interesting, and lands on a table. I'm not sure if this is a dream or if this is really happening, but that's pretty crazy. We see Ghost sliding down the wall here with a knife. That's pretty cool. And then Val is now saying, we grew up with the belief that there are good guys and there are bad guys. So now we have to decide, is this a good guy or a bad guy we're staring at? Of course, that's Bob. And notice he's been shot multiple times and there's no impact whatsoever on his skin, showing, his super strength, because they are machine gunning him to no impact. And yeah, these guys are going to be in trouble. I have a feeling they're not going to make it. So then we also see some of the battles that the Thunderbolts will be doing, I think later in the movie is my guess. U.S. agent smushing this dude against the wall. Notice on the right, that looks like Red Guardian, you can see in the corner there. We also see Ghost taking care of somebody here. And then Val is saying, but eventually you come to realize, and then we see Yelena in the middle of a fight. And so then this scene actually is from the SDCC trailer that was released online by someone that filmed a very low quality, obviously, film of it. I don't know why some of these scenes were not included in the latest trailer, so you'll see them popping up here and there during the breakdown. This is Red Guardian ripping a book in half. I have no idea why. Maybe that's why they took it out of the trailer, because it's pointless, right? Who knows? But this was really cool. This was also from SDCC, and it was Yelena falling off a building and doing kind of that Black Widow move, where they go down a line down the building. So I don't know why they left that out. But this was included, though. Now we're back to the new trailer. Red Guardian in this truck, smashing cars and loving life. That's hilarious. But then she says, we now know that there are bad guys and there are worse guys. And I think she's saying that timing perfectly for them coming out of the elevator because, yeah, they might be, are they bad? Are they worse? We don't know. But then she says, and there's nothing else. So interesting, Val. So now, where are they? I do believe for sure that this is Avengers Tower. We've been told forever we're going to learn who bought it. I think it was Val. A big reason I think so is look on the left at that bar. Doesn't that look so similar to what we saw in the first Avengers movie? Because notice, look at the circular angled shape there near Tony. I mean, it's the exact same piece. I think they restored what they could of it. Most of it was probably destroyed, but they restored what they could of, and Val's using it for her own bar. So yeah, very, very interesting. Now they're all here, all 6 of them. I was a little worried that Taskmaster might have died in that first battle, but she's back there. All 6 are together. Look at you, says Val. So adorable. And I love this. She tries to smile at them like, hi, you're all my buddies, right? Yelena's like, uh-huh. No. That is awesome. That transition is epic. Then here's another scene that was only in SD23, but basically Red Guardian was saying less talking, so he wanted more action. But then Bucky says, what's the plan? So at this point, it seems like they are all okay with working with Val. So I cannot wait to see how they go from almost being killed by Val, which is my guess, to now deciding to work with her. Interesting. But okay, what's the plan? So I struggled for the longest time on that earlier trailer trying to figure out what is this thing. But the trick is you have to turn it on its side because he's picking it up. That is the letter S. And that is going to be his logo that goes on his belt, Sentry's belt. And then I'm betting that this is Sentry's shoes as he's walking down the steps because, notice, I think everybody else is already in that room. All those other scenes we've just been looking at is them talking, and now here comes Sentry in the room. So the plan will be you're now going to work with Sentry to do what? I'm really curious. Who is the big bad then? Really, they have not revealed much at all about this movie. So I am really interested in where this is all going. But okay, so now a few more shots from that terrible leaked trailer that you can't. The quality's so low, but nonetheless, it does tie in. So I really want to show this again. They're driving down the road. Red Guardian is driving. He says this is the making of a team that can rise to glory. And they're like, oh, my goodness, shut up. And then he says, we can be the heroes on the Wheaties box. Yeah, nice. And Yelena's like, I am so embarrassed. And then he's like, with the little kitty toy, which they don't really have kitty toys and Wheaties that I can remember, so that's hilarious. But then she's like, I find it best just to ignore him. So I wanted to show this because I think this then leads right into this scene from the trailer where we see these 2 vehicles chasing after them. So you wonder why, what's happening here. And shooting at them. That's them shooting at the back of the car. And now, remember I said we're going to see the car again? I think that is Red Guardian's car that we saw at the beginning of the trailer. So wherever it is they are, he was able to pick them up and he's taking them all away in their getaway car, which is his crappy car. So then he explains, don't worry, she's bulletproof. Well, he's totally lying, obviously, because the glass is shattering everywhere. And poor John Walker's like, what happened to bulletproof? And he says, well, it's bulletproof-ish. So then I think that's where Bucky then comes up behind in his motorcycle, and he shoots a grappling hook at this Jeep or vehicle, whatever it is, not a Jeep, Army Jeep, then hits the brakes, flies back, grabs the other end of the grappling hook, pulls it over his shoulder, and flips it. That is sweet. Then he comes up behind the second one and destroys it. But then he's not done because he keeps heading towards the car. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? And I love it. U.S. agent's like, is that Bucky? His best buddy, Bucky? And Yelena's like, oh, that's not good. And yeah, it's not, because he pulls out the gun, big gun, and blasts the car. So wild. So I'm actually guessing, even though they showed this at the end of the trailer, this might be them leaving after that early mission that got aborted, where they were trying to, all kill each other. So, and then maybe Bucky shows up afterwards. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. When do you think this is actually happening in the trailer? But it's kind of cool that it starts out this poorly for everybody, but they all end up working together. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. One of the logos that they had given us earlier is "Be careful who you assemble," kind of hinting at the Avengers. And that's why I do think Thunderbolts Asterix, by the end of the movie, will become either Dark Avengers or The Avengers. Because I'm beginning to wonder if during Brave New World, they don't create a new team. Sam doesn't want to work with Ross, and they don't end up creating a new team, and this ends up being the new Avengers. Let me know your thoughts about that. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. This poster looks like so much fun. So tell me whether this trailer got you excited. I am certainly excited for the movie. Cannot wait. May 2nd, and that's why I'm saying again that I think this in the MCU is May of 2027. So we'll only be 2 years behind the MCU. So hopefully we'll get caught up before long. All right, let me know your thoughts. Also, don't forget, September contest, be a subscriber, leave a comment, win a book or a steelbook. And of course, there's that membership option in case you're interested in that. And then I always like to mention the Discord. Here we are talking about the new trailer. One of the nice things on the Discord is we have an announcement section. So as soon as the trailer comes out, somebody on the server will post it to let you know, and then we all start talking about it. So there are 1,700 members on the Discord all across the globe, conversations 24/7, and we would love for you to be part of it. So I will leave a pinned comment so that you can join the Discord. Also, if you don't mind, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out more content, and we'll all continue to enjoy the ever-growing, the ever-changing Marvel Cinematic Universe.